Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thrashers Paradise Tea Edition, because tea is good, in a way.
All about that caffeine, man. Gotta get it somehow.
Today we are joined with a brand new guest, but we do have a mutual friend in the end. Well, two now, actually. Huh. How the small metal community works out in the end, eh?
Indeed.
I'm joined with Adam. He is the guitarist to Toronto. Now let me get this straight. Blackened death metal band. Ischemic?
Ischemic. Yeah. Or more, Black and Death Doom band Ischemic.
Ischemic, they are from Toronto, and they are releasing a brand new album, which is due out on April 2nd, called Ischemic.
Self-titled.
Sometimes just a self-title is just the best way to go.
Exactly.
And this is your third studio album. Has that set in yet that this is the third album to come from your project?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's weird to feel the tides of time blast. Like, next year will be 10 years, and it's like, wow, that's a large chunk of time that we've actually been around. And when you think of even some bands that are, like, huge in, like, the metal pantheon, and they were only around for, like, 6 years, and you're just like, wow, we've already, like, blasted through, like, like the original Hellhammers run and stuff like that. Like, they turned into Celtic Frost, but it's like, man, like, those 2 demos, and that band's, like...
Done.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, congratulations on almost 10 years. That has to be such a great feat. Did you ever expect the band to reach this point, to have 3 albums in 10 years?
Yeah, it's I think, I definitely went in knowing that I'd be blind to the future and such. So it is, I'm happy that the more optimistic version of events definitely went down in this universe. Although there is a pandemic, so maybe it's kind of 50-50 at this point.
Fair enough, which makes it hard to do live shows.
Yeah.
As we all know. No, but this is I've started listening to it actually before I did pick up the phone with you, and I do have to say, holy shit.
Oh, thank you.
What a very well done album. I love the fact that it goes from a 6-minute song to 2 11-minute songs, and then you just say, you know what? Let's do a 22-minute song, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, no, yeah, we definitely wanted to ease people in a bit more comfortably with terms of song length, because I know, I definitely don't mind whether a song's 2 minutes or an hour, but some people it is nice to have that sort of strong attention span grabbing hook, and then you kind of slowly reel them into how you're gonna be here for a while.
It's like I always say, if it's not 5 minutes, it's not a real song.
Exactly.
But no, you released a single, the first track off the album, the 6-minute track called Scabs.
Yeah.
Now, besides the fact that it was the shortest one lengthwise in time, besides that factor, what else really drove the band to collectively agree to let that be the first single people heard from the brand new Ischemic album?
I think it's because it, as much as it was a shorter song, it did also kind of encapsulate a lot of what you were going to be getting later on in the record too, because it's definitely, got that creepy atmosphere, that slow, doomy kind of old school death metal vibe to it. But every once in a while we're throwing in a tiny bit of melody to get you ready for some of the stuff that go in. So you're going to have your head smashed as much as you're going to feel something.
Excellent, because I always want to feel something when I'm listening to more metal. No. Now, a lot of people don't really put into consideration all the hard work and the effort and all the struggles and arguments that go into creating albums. So even though this is coming out on April 2nd as the final project, how long has this album been in the works for?
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's probably hitting around 1.5 years, because there was definitely the first song that we started writing for this album was Illusion of Humanity. And that we were still playing with when Chris Orr was our drummer, who we're still friends with him and everything. But this would have been late 2017 when late 2018 that we were coming up with that. So it kind of bled into now Campbell joining on drums. And then obviously when the pandemic hit, that was like literally right as we almost finished up Scattering Garden, almost. And then the pandemic hit and it was the full on lockdown. Like you can't see other people, which pushed things easily 4 weeks, further than we expected. Because we were expecting to have it out for 2020 easily. But of course, all these things came together. So I'd say almost a year and a half.
Wow. Now, after all the hard work, after all the struggles that I went through just trying to get this album done, now it's finally done. For you personally, what is the one song that you're most proud of? And what is the one song that gave you the most difficult time throughout the whole process?
I think both are going to be the the same answer, and that's probably Scattering Gardens, which creatively was more Tyler, the other guitarist, doing, but it was so challenging because he suffered a concussion a few years ago. So doing actually like playing live with him is we have to have like certain settings and stuff because sound is an issue. So it's a lot of guitar pro tabs and a lot of acoustic sessions. And then on top of that, also being like a very long stretch, a lot of he's a very proggy, jazzy kind of guy. So a lot of like really weird signatures where I'm bashing my head against the wall, like, why can't I do this? I don't understand. Um, and kind of trying to marry it with the kind of the intro riff, the doom riff that comes in after that melodic clean bit. Kind of marrying both of those together was, I think, the hardest thing. But in the end, it does have like that most epic ending, and it does feel just so triumphant at the very end that the way it ended up coming out was so much better than the frustrations I had dealing with it. So it was like, oh, to know that all that work was actually totally worth it in the end is super satisfying.
Awesome. Now, I will say this about the band. Your band has probably one of my favorite singers in all of the independents, and that is Isabel. Isabel, for the love of God, I don't know how she got her voice to go that deep, but holy shit.
Yeah, no, I'll sorry.
No, you go, please.
I was gonna say, yeah, a lot of practice. From what I know, she has been going since she was like 15.
Oh my God.
And started with a lot of like kind of like ungraceful but definitely useful breathing techniques. A lot of squatting, she tells me, at first. So it is definitely, and the thing that she's pretty good with for the most part is also enunciation, I find. So there's a lot of time where she tries to hide the lyrics on us, but then we're like, well, you're so good at saying the words actually that we know what you're saying. You can't hide behind the brutal veil, so to speak.
Now, I bet with a lot of first-time listeners and people that are just getting into Ischemic, they don't really think the lead singer is Isabel. Now, when you first became part of the band, when you finally heard her sing, what was your initial reaction to it all?
Yeah, to see it's one of those like the package definitely. She's so small. She's like 5'4", and it's like one of those where I'm like, I don't care what gender people are. I've seen extreme vocalists growing up my whole life, but the fact that she's 5'4", like I don't even want to guess weight, but like looks under 100 pounds, and then you get this absolute bestial roar out of her is definitely like the most the most surprising aspect of it. Just the contrast of what you see and what you get is definitely part of her allure. I agree.
And I think with any band, that is a key feature. And I think the fact that you all have her as your lead singer is awesome, and it's going to bring you to so many new horizons.
Yeah, she's got the charisma and definitely the creepy vibes when we play live as well. Is definitely she's a great performer.
Now, even though we are still under pandemic part something, level something, color whatever, has the band talked about maybe doing like playthroughs for YouTube just so people could kind of see what goes into the songs?
Yeah, we've definitely played with the idea of doing like a live online gig and stuff like that. We've been kind of so busy with just getting the album out first that we haven't really navigated exactly how we would do that. But it's one of those things where we're like, well, we can't play live and we want to get it out somehow. And even though we're totally cool to just, even if it's another year before we're playing a show, like we'll just jump back into this. It usually takes, a good 2 or 3 years between our albums anyway. So as much as it sucks to lose that first leg of promotion of it live, it's still
Yeah.
going to be well worth into its product life, so to speak, by the time we start playing shows again. So
Now, because of all of this, has there already been work on the next album or the next EP to come from Ischemic?
we definitely have. I think our aim for the next uh thing we put out, even though we haven't really pulled together anything cemented yet, we definitely feel like we want to do a split with another band. We got kind of a pool of friends that we're interested in maybe doing some stuff with. So it would most likely be another colossal 20 minute or like Scattering Garden, but just for a split. So we're kind of I'm pulling wrists together, Ty is pulling what he can together. Campbell, Anthony, Isabel, everyone's got ideas that they're like, okay, let's put this in the split for later box. But as far as like actually sitting down and being like, this is what we're gonna do, it's still pretty in the planning phase.
Of course. Now, for you, when it comes to promoting the album a completely different way from the other two, what have you personally found to be the hardest so far into promoting this album?
I guess just staying on top of stuff really, just because I am still working as well. So it's sort of I always have to be checking my email, just being like, make sure that you you got stuff on time and that you have dates set on your clocks and whatnot. Um, overall, it hasn't been too bad though. I think I'm at least used to this kind of side of the world as well because I used to do some metal blogging stuff myself for a site
Ah.
called Axis of Metal. So I have a little bit of an idea how this system works a bit. So that's helped me a bit.
So the calendar app is getting a lot of use this year,
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
yeah, I got a lot of dings going off.
You just look at the phone, it's just like, wait, which thing's going off now?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. What made you? Now, this is a shout out to John, our PR guy. He's a great guy. He's done a lot of great work. What made you want to go with John Asher of Asher Media?
Everyone's given him good reviews, and a lot of even Topon from Fuck the Facts was like, yeah, man, he does a good job, and he'll get you the word of mouth that you need and such like that. So far I've been pretty impressed with what we've gotten. So the word is true so far.
John Asher appreciation question.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, John. But no, Adam, I know you got a lot on your plate, so I got one last question to ask you, and it's going to be a lot of fun, hopefully, and hopefully you get it right. We ask this to all of our first-time guests, so wishing you the best of luck.
Awesome.
The question is simple. Who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God?
Well, that's a redundant question. Lemmy is God.
Yes, that is correct.
Good question. I like this.
Thank you. Thank you. You'd be surprised how many people have gotten it right, wrong, and have just given weird answers.
Yeah. That's from Airheads, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
You get
okay.
bonus points.
It's funny because on the app Discord, the way I like to do my display pictures is like kind of corny, dated '90s comedies, and Airheads has been the one for a while because I'm like, this is me already. Why am I'm just stick on this one.
Awesome. Adam, thank you so much for coming on Thrashers Paradise today to talk about the self-titled release Ischemic, due out on April 2nd. Make sure to get on Bandcamp, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your music. Is there anything else you would like to say to the people watching this at home?
Yeah, we'll have CDs as well, and also keep on rocking in the free world. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. And until next time, everyone, keep on thrashing.
Thanks, Colin.
You're welcome.